Hello everyone, welcome back to Bleed Electrical. I am Triveli Naidu from the Department of Electrical Engineering at St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. Now, we have already started with the Energy Action Planning, Monitoring and Targeting Systems. In this video, I'll be talking about monitoring and targeting systems and data information analysis. So let's get started. Now, what is monitoring and targeting systems? Energy monitoring and targeting is primarily a management technique that uses energy information as a basis to eliminate the waste, reduce and control current level of energy use and improve the existing operating procedures. Okay, that means once you monitor and target your system well, then it helps you out to eliminate the waste and reduce and control the level of energy usage. So isn't it very fruitful for you to save a lot of energy and earn profit? Then, this is all about monitoring and targeting systems. Now, elements of monitoring and targeting systems. What are the elements? The essential elements include recording. Recording means what? Measuring and recording energy consumption. Then, secondly, analyzing. You need to correlate energy consumption to a measured output, such a production quantity. Then you can comparing energy consumption to an appropriate standard or benchmark. That is, you're comparing with your own energy consumption pattern, or you can also compare with the other industries that are in competition with you. Then setting of targets. Setting targets to reduce or control the energy consumption. Then monitoring. Monitoring, comparing energy consumption to the set target on a regular basis. You're monitoring regularly that whether the energy consumption is up to the expectations or not. Then reporting the results, including any variances from the targets which have been set. Then controlling, implementing and management measures to correct any variances which may have occurred. Okay, if in case there is some corrections that need to be incorporated, you can do it. Okay, this is known as controlling. You're controlling the energy consumption pattern. Okay, this is all about the elements. Then what further? Particularly, the monitoring and targeting system will involve the following. Okay, you have to check the accuracy of energy invoices, all the bills that come to you, the electricity bill, the fuel bill. You have to check the accuracy of energy invoices. Then allocating energy cost to specific departments like energy accounting centers, determining the energy performance or efficiency, then recording energy use so that the projects intended to improve the energy efficiency can be checked. You can bring in more technology as far as energy management is concerned. Then highlighting the performance problems in equipments or systems. Okay, now this is more important. Data and information sources. Where do you get these data and information from? Because you want a set of data to monitor and continuously benchmark. So you get it at the plant level. Now, plant level information can be derived from financial accounting systems, utilities, cost centers. You can get it from the plant. Okay, then plant departmental level. Now you can get it at the departmental level also. So information can be found in comparative energy consumption data from a group of similar facilities, service entrance meters, readings, etc. So you can obtain a lot of data from this. Then system level. Okay, for example, the boiler plant. Okay, performance data can be determined from submetering data also. You can have the submeters at different locations. Then equipment level also you can harness this data. So information can be obtained from the nameplate, runtime, schedule information, submetered data on specific energy consuming equipments. Now, what about the analysis? How do we analyze this data? Now we have the information. I need to analyze this. You can do it with plenty of ways. Now, using pie charts, annual energy consumption using pie chart. How do we prepare this? First of all, you need to convert all the energy data into standard units. Okay, kilowatt hour. Then compile the data showing the annual energy consumption and cost of various fuels and energy type. You have to compile all these data. You have to collect all this data. Then you have to compile above information to produce percentage breakdown. We'll see with the help of an example how to draw this pie chart, but these are the steps. in which you can quickly form a pie chart using the annual energy consumption. So that is how it works. Then fourth, you finally produce a pie chart for that, and similar procedures can be followed for various years. Okay, for plenty of years you can make such pie charts. So now the standard energy conversion from electricity to different units is given here, because here we have already mentioned you have to convert all energy data into standard units. Now if you're doing this, what is the standard unit for electricity? If I'm drawing a pie chart for electricity, I need to make sure that it is in kilowatt hour, and for HSD it is kg, then furnace oil it is kg, then LPG it is kg. Okay, if you're having it into, you have to convert, if you want to convert it into kilocalories, then you have to multiply it by 860. Here 10,500, here 10,200, here 12,000. So this is the way in which standard energy conversions can be done or achieved. Now collect all the data. First of all, you need to have a sheet in which you need to prepare all the data. Like here you have, for example, electricity bill. What is the kilowatt hour reading at the daytime, at the night time, what was the maximum demand? You write the amount. Okay, so simply you have to get or obtain this data. Okay, then after conversion to a common unit, you need to have a percentage breakdown of this. Now you know in kilocalories, you know electricity is this much. Now you have to convert it as a percentage of this. Okay, and the cost, like consumption and the cost, both are mentioned over here. So the pie chart for consumption is over here because it is according to percentage. So out of 100, 18% of electricity is there, share of energy, and then further LPG, furnace oil, HSD are further given. Okay, so this is how you have to break down the data in order to make a pie chart. Okay, so similarly you have the share of cost. So different pie charts are prepared for electricity as well as the share of cost. But now you might be wondering that what about the comparison of the share of energy and cost together? Yes, in that case the pie chart will fail. Okay, you will not get the accurate data. Okay, because here you only have the information about the share of energy, that too separately, and share of cost separately. So for that you need to come to a certain conclusion. So you have bar charts for it. Okay, now what is the difference between pie chart and a bar chart? You can compare using bar charts, but pie chart will give you a limited set of information. Okay, now the energy data is then entered into a spreadsheet. It is hard to find what is happening from plain data, so we need to present the data using a bar chart. Okay, so the starting point to collect is, you could collect the data for nearly 24 hours for 12 months of energy bills. Okay, so this is how you prepare the bar chart. For example, in this bar chart you find here is the energy consumption and here is the month, different month, and here are two bars shown. Okay, blue color indicates 1999, that is the year, and this green one indicates 2000. So you find here so many entities being compared, whereas in pie chart this was not possible to us. Okay, now I can say, okay, now in 1999 the energy consumption was approximately 2000. Now in the year 2000 also it is approximately the same. Whereas if I check out for this year, in the month of August, in 1999 it was only 2500, whereas it has now increased to more than 3500. So that is how you can conclude with the help of the bar chart. So this is very self-explanatory. Okay, so time dependent energy analysis also you can do. So similarly you can have a timeline for things. Okay, 2008 you can draw a chart, okay, and a graph, and in 2009 also you can have a similar graph, and then you can compare the data. Okay, this is electricity consumption with respect to the different months of the year. So this could also be achieved. So when you are taking the two, means the time as the variable, it is known as time dependent energy analysis. Now norm chart is nothing but the normalized chart. Okay, the norm chart is sequential plot of actual energy consumption overlaid on a plot of targeted consumption. Okay, now here instead of the different year, what they have done, normally this should come out to be like this. So this one, this dark gray color one, is the normalized chart. So we will take the average of last 5 years and we'll say that this is the normalized one. But what is the actual one? This is the actual one. So see the fluctuation. You can find out the fluctuation, the increase and decrease as far as the electricity gas consumption in kilowatt with respect to the months were considered. So this is nothing but a norm chart. Now next is the deviance chart. What is deviation? Which deviation are we talking about? See, it is the difference between the target and actual. Okay, now you have set certain target and you're not able to achieve it. The deviation between this upper limit and the lower limit will give you the data for this. Okay, so it helps you out for finding out the deviation. Okay, so here you find this is the consumption. Okay, this is the consumption that you are getting. This is the actual graph, but you have a upper limit and the lower limit over here. Okay, so this upper limit and lower limit will help you find out the deviation. Okay, so that deviation will help you to understand the consumption of data. Okay, so now talking about relating annual energy production using the bar charts. Now we already know about the bar charts, okay, but when it comes to production and when it comes to energy consumption, we cannot compare the data. In that case, we can go for specific energy consumption. So you have to calculate now the specific energy consumption. Okay, if related production data also available for 24 months, and we know that the level of production may have effect on energy consumption also. Hence, specific energy consumption can be calculated and plotted as bar charts. Okay, which is energy consumption per unit production. So this is two data you're getting together. So important. So here energy consumption per unit production is nothing but the SEC, that is specific energy consumption. Okay, so this is very important when you want to find out. So you can compare with reference to the kilowatt consumption with respect to the different months of the year. Okay, so this is how you can achieve it. Now if we add the production data to the SEC chart, it helps you to explain some of the features. Okay, so SEC occurred when there was a record level of production. This indicates that there might be a fixed energy consumption or not. So you can find out, you can obtain a lot of more data. So you can merge these two graphs, okay, as you find energy per million, and then you have also taken up production here. Okay, so this can also be drawn, and then you can finally conclude from this graph whether the consumption of energy was proper or not. Okay, then moving annual total. Now, moving annual total, what is this moving annual total? Another way of representing energy and production is moving annual total. If 12 months of energy and production data are available to you, we can plot a chart. Okay, for this chart, each point represents sum of previous 12 months of data. So you are already having 12 months of data. You are taking a addition of it or an average of it, and then you're plotting this graph. Okay, so each point here represents sum of previous 12 months of data. Then we call it as moving annual total. So here you find the comparison of two respective production and energy. Okay, this is how you can compare. So there are different techniques in which we can analyze the data and information of energy consumption. Then there is another technique known as linear regression analysis. Okay, it determines and quantifies the relationship between variables. It enables standard equation to be established for energy consumption. Okay, so it could be done in several ways. It could be done in single independent variable form. So single independent variable form can have a XY scatter diagram. Okay, the chart which shows low degree of scatter indicative of a good fit. If there is no such scatter available, we say that it is a good fit. Whereas if we have very too much of scattered point, we say that the fit is not good. This is what we find. See, here we have one point, here we have another, here is another. See the scattered point. What is the scattered point? This is not coming on the line. This is also not coming on the line. This is also not coming. This not coming, and then these two also not coming. So many scattered points. Can we say that it is a good fit then? But what about the data in which we had all these points connected? So yes, so it is not a good fit. So that is why you can have such a kind of a diagram which is known as an XY scatter diagram. So according to the scattered point, you can decide whether it is a good fit or not. So low degree of scatter will be indicative of a good fit. Okay. Then in producing the production of with respect to energy relationship chart, we have also obtained a relationship. Okay, so we know that the relationship for this data is energy consumed for the period is equal to C plus M into production for the same period. Now how do I get this formula? Now, as we have discussed before, you find here you have a graph x with respect to y axis. It is a straight line. And what is the equation of the straight line? Yeah, coming back to the point, y is equal to m into x plus c. What do you mean by this? This is the slope, correct? This is slope. And what is c in that case? C is the intercept, correct? We all know this, intercept. So this is the intercept. So y is equal to mx plus c is the equation of the straight line. So that is how you see in x-axis what have you plotted and y-axis what you plotted. Here you had energy, okay, with respect to what? Production. So now you can say that the equation of the line, if this is the straight line, you can say the equation is y is equal to mx plus c. That is, on the y-axis you are having energy consumed for the period is equal to c is the intercept. Intercept is what? The intercept is something like this. If the graph is starting from here, we call this as intercept c. Is it not? Followed. And what is the slope? If we take a slope from here, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 will give you the slope. So this is how you make it, okay? Then, where m is the energy consumption directly related to the production variable and c is the fixed energy consumption. I've already told you about this. Then, using this we can calculate the standard energy consumption for any level of production within the range of the data set. Okay, so if this is a straight line y is equal to mx plus c, the best fitted data you have to obtain, that is, there are different points taken over here, x1, y1, x2, y2, similarly till xn, yn, okay. So plenty of data you have and you can have n number of data points. So if you have so many data points, then the equation will become Cn plus m into summation of x is equal to summation of y. So if you have different data points, okay, you're having so many data points. C is the intercept, as I told you, this is the intercept C and this is the slope m, correct? You have it from the graph itself. But what about summation of x? This will be from the graph, the points, okay, respective point. You have to add up all the x points, then you write it over here. You have to add up all the y points, then you have to write it over here. So this is all about linear regression, okay. Then here all the formula has changed now. You can have both these equations and you can make a simultaneous equation with the help of these two equations and you can calculate the c and m values for x and y can be known to you. Now, let us consider an example to understand this. You have been given a foundry which during a monitoring program produces the following sample data. So, you are having production with respect to energy. Okay, so we have to obtain, so here you find the formula, right? You have to use this formula in this equation. So, for that we can plot the graph. Now, you have to just prepare a table, okay? Write the data points that have been given to you, okay? So this is what you have to do. So here you have all the data points. So how many data points are there? 9. So n is equal to 9. Then production x is equal to, you frame this chart, okay, n, x, y, then accordingly start calculating. So I have kept calculating this, okay. So x, you have to take the square of x, and xy means the production, so the product of x and y, and finally you have to add all these things up and you have to write this becomes your summation of x, okay. And what about this becomes summation of y, and this becomes summation of x square, and this becomes summation of x y. So this is, you have obtained all the data points now, okay. Then You have these two equations, simply substitute. Summation of x you know, summation of y also you know, and summation of xy also you know, x square also you know. So these equation will be formed. So now what is the unknown? You have to solve this simultaneously. You will get the value of c and you will get the value of m. Solving this simultaneously, you get m as 0.4 and c as 180. So the equation of straight line will become y is equal to 0.4x plus 180. So from the equation, it can be seen that theoretical base load for the furnace is 180 million tons of oil equivalent. Okay, so same relation can be obtained by plotting a graph. So what do you mean by same relation can be obtained by plotting a graph? Let us say, for example, this is the energy consumption. This is energy on the y-axis. This is production on the x-axis. Correct? Energy and production, right? So now you have to plot all these points. For example, let me get a graph like this. I don't know, there has to be certain points. Let me take this as points, and some are coming on the graph, some are not coming on the graph. So these are the scattered points. Okay, let me consider any 2 points and take this as slope. Let me write the slope m, and we can get this c as an intercept also after plotting the graph. Then you write y is equal to mx plus c as your equation. So directly also from the graph you can get this information. Okay, but if you want accurate data, you can go for the linear regression method. So this could be achieved with the help of linear regression method. Now there could be multivariable analysis also. Often energy consumption can be influenced by several different variables. So it is difficult to solve multivariable calculations by hand. So we can use software for this purpose. Okay, we can't have so big equations solved manually. So we go for a software instead of doing it manually. So that's all for this video. In the upcoming video, I'll be talking about the QSUM charts, that is the cumulative summation charts. Okay, so thank you.